Okay, g'day everyone, and welcome back to the Great Western Hotel podcast, where we chat with some of the best artists, personalities, hitting the stage and sometimes the dirt up here in Rockhampton. I'm your host, Adam Simon from Crowdcast, and today we've got one of the most exciting rising stars in Australian country music joining us, a real deal radio cowboy turned award-winning songwriter, Wade Forster. Now, Wade's just dropped a massive 22-track sophomore album, Gooseneck Party, featuring the powerful new single, Air It Out with Piper Butcher, great singer-songwriter. He's gearing up to play live at the Great Western Hotel Thursday, November 13th. So who better to talk to about the man himself? Wade Forster, welcome to the show, mate. Thanks for your time.
Thanks for having me.
This is part of the Dying Breed tour. It's a massive tour. It's just sold out. How much? What's that feeling when you get those sold out sign up on the door and say, that's amazing? You know, what's that feel like?
I still don't know quite how to put it into words, but I'm pretty grateful that I get to do this, for a job. I used to be on a cattle station working cattle and all that, so to be able to sell out venues and do something I love for work, for the rest of my life was a pretty cool feeling, You
ever pinch yourself? I was at Tamworth the night you won Star Maker, and you look surprised, mate. You look knocked for six, but you ever pinch yourself how quickly your career's gone through the roof in 5 short years?
Yeah, I've been blessed with all the opportunities that have come my way, and it's a lot of hard work and a lot of long nights on the road and early mornings. So, anyone can say, I'd like to pick your brain on how you got successful. And I said, well, I don't even know how I got successful, It's not a cookie cutter idea. It's just going out there and giving it your all, and hopefully someone likes it.
What's harder, early morning cowboy or late night rock star, country star?
I like sleeping, so yeah, late night rock star, because I like to sleep in a bit. So
we're going to get to the gig at the Great Western in a moment. But let's talk about the new album, Gooseneck Party. 22 tracks, massive, and this is go back to the old days because so many times we have 7 or 8 tracks or EPs now, but you've nailed it with this 22 track, and it's full of heart. It's got storytelling, songwriting. How does Wade Forster describe his new album?
Well, Gooseneck Party is exactly what I said. It's a party, in itself, talking about old stories that cowboys used to go through and still do to this day. I'm very honoured to be able to talk about Gooseneck Parties. It's such a sacred thing to us rodeo cowboys. After the bar shuts, you never plan them. They never like thought out. They just sort of happen. And for me to tell the stories that I've either told at Gooseneck Parties or heard at a Gooseneck Party, it's a pretty big honour to me. And all those tales are just cowboy tales on Rodeo Road or elsewhere, So 22 songs, hell, there could have been 40. I probably could have put more in there, but we need to be a little realistic for the future.
You got to do like Batter to Hell, Batter to Hell 1, 2, and 3. This is Gooseneck Party 1, 2, and 3. Keep it going, the trilogy.
Yeah, exactly. I've thought about it.
The album, I've listened to the album a couple of times, it has a real sense of place, not just the outback, but also that rodeo life you talk of. Is that built from stories around you that is this most sacred place that you refer to? Is that something that you've built around that concept?
Yeah. So, a lot of rodeoing is a lot of time on the road and being away from home and being away from loved ones and stuff like that. So, the stories that I've heard at Gooseneck Parties, for us, that's gospel, cowboy lifestyle. And I grew up like that, rodeoing with my dad, my mum, my sister, and all my friends. So, the stories are incredible. But, yeah, that's only a snippet of them. There's a million more that I probably could have wrote songs about.
But then we've flipped the script a little bit and then Air It Out, which is the lead single with Piper Butcher, fantastic singer-songwriter from Hunter Valley. Fantastic. And this shows a more emotional side to you and your sound, probably I think the more than we've seen ever before in the last few years. How did that collaboration come about? Is that something you guys have worked on for a while or just happened to find each other?
I've been friends with Piper Butcher since 2023. She was an intern at the Academy of Country Music when I went there at Tamworth, and got to be real good friends with her. Her family's looked after me pretty much from day dot. If I've ever needed a bed or anything down in New South Wales, I always go and stay with them, and they look after me like an adopted son. My mum makes a joke that they patted a stray dog and it hasn't left since, I'm always there. But that song is the only song I've released that I didn't write, Air It Out. I heard Air It Out for the first time in Turkey, Texas at the start of the year. I was on a co-headline tour with the Lowdown Drifters, and we had Shelby Stone opening up for us, and Shelby Stone, she's going to be huge one day. And we were sitting there. I'm not going to lie, I was a little hungover, sitting there doing a song swap at Turkey, Texas on probably the coldest day I've ever spent in Texas. She played Air It Out, and it's written by Jordan Nix and Travis Roberts, both two Texas Proud Boys, and I was just grabbed by it instantly. I couldn't get it out of my head to the point where I messaged them up, and I was like, "Hey, could I have a go at trying to release this song?" And they said, "Sure, bro, be my guest." And I came back to Australia as I got the message, so I was in my head. I'm like, I like how Jordan and Shelby did it on their recording, and I was like, I wonder who I could get on mine. And it just so happened I was going to Tamworth with Piper Butcher and her family, and I said, "Do you want to try and jump on this song with me? We haven't done a song yet." And I think it turned out real well.
Magic.
It was real easy. Didn't have to force anything. Me and her get along like flies on shit, and it was just an easy way to do a song. Was just do this one that we've been really enjoying, and I think people are really starting to like it now too.
I think what we should do is in the ring at the Great West in the arena there. Let's get Shelby and Jordan on one side and Wade and Piper on one side and battle it out in the middle of the ring. Who does the best version right in the middle of the arena?
I'm sure they'd love to come down here. They keep messaging me saying we got to come down there one day. I said, he's got to take me over there a bit more, and I'll bring you home.
So over there, you're referring to the States. Like Wade, you won Star Maker 2 years ago?
Last year.
Last year, so 2024. Think about this, guys. He has toured the United States and shared stages with the likes of Luke Combs. Who else are we talking about? You jumped on stage. Cody Johnson. Now, there's amazing.
Pretty Oak Revival, Tyler Hubbard.
But not only that, you've performed at some of these most amazing stages. I used to go to Texas often to see cowboys like Jerry Jeff Walker or Robert Earl Keen, and then I see Wade Forster playing Green Hall, Texas, in this little town in Texas. What were your impressions? It's my most favorite venue in the whole world. But what's your impression of Green, Texas, and playing at places like Green Hall?
Playing Green Hall was that was a real pinch me moment, especially. I know like a lot of people would be like, oh, the stage and all that. And for me, it was backstage seeing Willie's Window. And anyone that knows about Green Hall knows about Willie's Window. It's this hole in the wall they cut out.
Yeah.
And it's literally that they've just put hinges on the bit they cut off. And that was for Willie Nelson to go outside and smoke. I don't know what he was smoking. It'd either be green or if it was cigarettes. But, he went out there and they only opened it for sold-out shows, and we were pretty lucky to sell it out. So I got to go through Willie's Window and smoke my cigarettes outside. And I was like, this is surreal. I'm sitting at Willie's Window. Like Willie Nelson's walked out here, a year ago. I was working cattle for my old man. Yeah. And then, a year later, I was walking through Willie Nelson's window.
You mentioned the word surreal there, and I want to take that because you're going to go from Green Hall to the Ryman. You're going to support Shane Smith and the Saints. We were just here in Australia a few weeks ago. Fantastic band. If you haven't seen Shane Smith and the Saints, go and see them. But why don't we all jump on a plane and go and support Wade? He plays the Ryman within 2 years. It's a phenomenal achievement. I mean, that's got to be another pinch me moment as well.
Yeah. We were in Nashville on our American tour, and my band went and wanted to see the Ryman and the Opry, and they said, "Oh, do you want to come, Wade?" And I said, "Nah. Oh, I don't want to go there until I play it."
Yeah.
And the boys said, "Oh, fair enough." And then, we got the offer, and I was like, "Told you, boys, you should have just waited." I didn't know that it was coming through, but like,
I can say I've recorded at the Ryman, but I had to pay $50 in a little recording studio to record a song, and it wasn't very good. I understand that. I mean, it's an amazing achievement. Congratulations on it, but I want to come back to the record for a bit. Let's talk about some more songs about this. We've got "Last of a Dying Breed," "Take That Buckle Home," "Gooseneck Party." Instant fan favorites, instant crowd reactions to these songs. Which of the 22 tracks do you think is going to be the next big crowd anthem for you?
It's a bit hard to say. It's a bit of a mixed bag. I've been looking online and what people are saying, and some people are saying "Last of a Dying Breed." Some people are saying "One Short Go from Gold." Some are saying "Villain." Some are saying "We'll Forget," "Air It Out." I
like Villains.
Villain's good.
The absolute winner.
It's pretty rough.
Do you find that changes, the crowd favourite changes on where you are sometimes? Like if you play a more rural location, they prefer more rural songs. Metro location, like we said, you come to Sydney as well in a few months.
Yeah.
You find that changes a lot?
Yeah. Like before the album, our favourite in the cities was often Rodeo Romeo.
Great song.
But when we go out to the regional areas, out into the outback and in working towns, their favourites are often cigarettes or Team Roper's Anthem.
Yeah.
Because they're often going rodeoing or smoking cigarettes, I guess. Yeah, so they're the favourites. Yeah, they do change, but the best thing is about our shows, our ticketed shows, you get the whole kit and caboodle. We don't leave you with anything to
Yeah.
imagine.
And guys, just for those watching or listening to this at home, understand in 2 short years, Wade's 50 million streams on Spotify. That's a phenomenal achievement for an Australian artist into 2 short years. And that's why the songs and the live performances and the albums are all so infectious, because he's really mastered that craft of performing and that giving a great show. I'm guessing, Wade, one of your ethos things is someone pays, come see me, they're going to get the show of their life.
Yes, that's exactly my whole philosophy on music when I got into it. I remember I went to Tamworth for the first time in 2023, and I was only there for a couple of days after the academy finished.
Yeah.
And I walked around, I bought a few tickets and went and watched a few people. And I'm not going to sugarcoat it, but the stage presence there was just shit, like just fucking awful. And to see people that I looked up to just look around on stage and sing, and the only movement that was happening was their head like this, just like that. I'm like, where's the flair? Where's the emotion? Where's the
Exactly right.
want? I come from a place where if you wanted it bad enough, you'd do anything to keep it.
Yeah.
And when I got up there, I come off stage, like anyone that's ever seen me backstage after one of my shows, I'm just drenched head to toe. I can barely stand. I'm just exhausted. Feels like I'm playing rugby again, out there for an hour and a half and just busted.
Yeah.
I sit there backstage, and I remember, I think it was Roma Rodeo at Easter this year. I come off stage and I was that hot that I grabbed the biggest chunk of ice out of the esky and I just held it over my eyes. And my photographer walked through and he said, "There's steam flying off you."
I've seen that.
Yeah, he said, "I don't want to take a photo of this because you look like you're hurting." I said, "I am hurting." But yeah, the ice on my head was just billowing out with steam because of how hot I was.
Yeah.
And that's my whole philosophy on it. Like, if I'm not coming off that stage giving everyone everything I've got, then they haven't got their money's worth out of me. So, I feel like I've let them down in a way.
Elvis once said, if you behave like the audience, you'll end up in the audience. And I think that's a great thing. We've seen the likes, not your own, but predecessors like Garth Brooks and so on, swinging off ropes and this, it's a circus. No, it's not. It's a show. There's a reason why these things sell out massive tours and so on. It's a show. And you want to have that thing where, we don't have water coolers anymore, we have social media, but everyone goes to the next show and says, "Oh my God, what did you do last night?" "Well, I did this and this one. It's an amazing show." And all of a sudden you get 30 new fans just off the presence you have. But you're quite right, that stage presence, and it's something we've lost in Australian country music. Definitely. I've been to Tamworth 23 years in a row, and we've lost that and so on. And Keith used to have it. He used to walk out on the venues on the tables through the crowd and try not to fall and kill himself. It's the one thing your shows have really nailed that thing. It's got that real heavy sense. In one sense, it's a marketing and performance sense, but in the other sense, it's you are performing every show, and you'll do this at the Great Western, and I'm sure you perform every show like it's your last, just in case you don't ever get to do it again. You got to leave that last drop of sweat, that last drop of blood on the stage, and hopefully not hurting too much. But I really get that sense from your live performances. Congratulations on that. It's something well overdue, not just in Australian country music, but in Australian music as well. I think that's why you're resonating with those audiences. But let's have a quick chat about the Great Western as we get towards the end of our chat. Thursday, November 13, going to head up to the Great Western Hotel in Rockhampton. Got an arena there. Are you going to play in the arena or are you going to play on stage? What's the setup?
Probably on stage.
On stage? Middle of the arena would be awesome, but...
I've never rode in that arena. They don't do team roping or bulldogging or anything there. They do a lot of broncs and bulls and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But a lot of my friends have gone there and they've told me all about it, and I'm like, hell, I need to get there and go put on a show there. That'd be my way of competing there, I guess, in a sense. So, and I love Rocky. I've been to Rocky a heap of times. Not just for singing. I've been there rodeoing, and I've rodeoed at Yeppoon and Gracemere and all those places around. So, it's a good spot of Queensland, and I'm a real proud Queenslander. So,
what is it, Wade, do you think the last couple of years we've seen a growth, not just in country music, but I think in attendance and interest in rodeo and so in Australia? Do you think that's the Yellowstone effect, or is it just a growing audience, or the demographic wants something new? What do you put that down to?
I put it down to the Kai Hamilton effect.
Oh.
Kai Hamilton's over there in the PRCA. Biden Unreally won a world title a couple of years back, and he's from Mackay. Like, he was the best in the world a couple of years ago, and he's from Mackay. I think people started to see that, and they're like, "Hang on, rodeo's back." For a long time, people were on the fence. Oh, is it cruel? Is it this? And anyone that actually has been to a rodeo would know. Geez, these bulls get looked after better than the riders, and same with the timed event stock and the horses and all that. Like I know cowboys that are eating noodles while their horses are eating $400 worth of feed. you know,
Yeah,
and I think people are. I think Yellowstone definitely has a spot to play in it, but it ain't just about Yellowstone. It's
yeah,
about rodeo, and I think people like Kai Hamilton and Damian Brennan and those fellas over in the States, even the fellow I wrote a song about, Travis Munro, over there in
yeah,
the States competing in the PRCA. I wrote a song about Travis called "Take That Buckle Home." I wrote it
yeah.
with Alan Caswell,
Great song. Yeah,
great songwriter, and
fantastic.
yeah, those fellas over there that are putting Australia on their back and competing against the best in the world and some of the best ever and beating them a lot of the time. I think
Yeah.
Australia's starting to finally see how good we are at rodeo, and they're accepting it a bit more. So it's good to see.
And you're quite right. Like some of those horses are worth hundreds, if not over $1 million, aren't they? Not just for their riding, but their breeding capabilities as well. It's just an amazing industry, and it's been under the radar for a long time in Australia. We tried PBR and so on, and now PBR in the States is picked up by TKO, which runs UFC and WWE. That becomes $1 billion industry all of a sudden. But who owns it and all the rights for it? So yeah,
Yeah,
it's a remarkable thing, and I think more and more we can get that. I'd love to see massive arena shows combined with, say, a country festival. I do a great number here in Australia because we've got that demographic now, and don't we? And you'd see your audience, and I've been to your shows where your demographic's 18 to 25. That's the
yeah.
first time we've had that demographic for 30, 40 years in Australia. I mean, Australia now is the third highest consumers of country music in the world. So let's combine it with things like rodeo and shine that spotlight on Kyle and various people we're talking about, so we can share that genre and share that exposure. I think it'd be a fantastic event.
Yeah, I'm working on something on the lines of that.
Need Forster Fest, okay? We'll
Uh,
trademark it.
Something similar, but not quite. I'm not going to put my name on it because it's not about me. It's about
Yeah,
rodeo,
that's the rodeo.
But yeah, there's definitely something in the works.
And you're going to meet some good guys up there at the Great Western Hotel. They got a whole bull riding community up there, and met a few of them online a few weeks ago. Great community people. They got a whole great community of people up there. We've got some. There's an event on where there's some gaming, some online gaming, and some professional wrestling with a view to supporting mental health. And that's one thing I always like to ask artists. You've had this massive surge. I mean, we know mental health is such a big thing in our community, but how important is it for artists, especially when you have that massive rapid rise, to maintain not just physical health but your mental health?
I've been a big advocate for mental health for a very long time. I've lost a heap of mates to it, and especially living life on the road and the long nights, and wondering if it's ever going to work and stuff like that. So mental health's pretty big. I say it every time I see my musician friends, whether it be Lane Pittman or Robbie Mortimer or the Wolf Brothers, all that. How you doing, bud? You doing all right? You smiling? You happy? And a lot of the time the answers are yes,
Yeah,
but without asking, you'd never know. And I love it when my fans, I sing Fight and Tears, and that's a big song about mental health, and
yeah. That's
they
what
all
I'm asking
raise
about. Yeah,
they all raise their hats to the sky, and you know, um, they message me the next day, thank you for playing that song. I've got a
yeah.
friend who's not doing well, and I've called him up today and stuff like that. That stuff's more than the money and the fame and all that. That's money and the fame means nothing to me. It's about making a difference, and if I can make a difference and then leave, then I'll be happy.
I couldn't agree with you more. I think it's a topic we need to address, not just in, plenty of lonely cowboys out there, and cowboying can be a lonely life, can't it? And on top of, being a musician, you might be away from home from your family for 3 months or 6 months. And when you are, you're sleeping or you're recovering or you're writing or you're recording. It's a life, guys. I've been around it for a long time. It's glamorous on the front, but it's hard work, and Wade can certainly attest to that. So
Yeah.
for all the fans coming up to Rockhampton at the Great Western Hotel on 13th of November, what can we expect? Any secret surprises or just a massive outs, no breaks show?
Bit of column A, bit of column B. Especially it's crazy. Campton's the only show we've got left in Australia that has tickets left for the
Oh,
rest of the
really?
year.
Let's get rid of
For the
those
rest
things
of
and
the year.
let's sell them out.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like Rocky is the last chance to see me live in Australia for the rest of 2025. And who knows what the future will hold. It might be the last time in a long time. I might go over to the States and give it my best over there and see how we do, stuff like that. So I'm not saying get them while you can, because I'm not coming back. I'm just saying you never know what's going to happen. And
Yeah.
this is the last spot that hasn't sold out. it's not far off. You know, we're doing really good and we're real blessed. But yeah, I'd like to sell out the Western and be able to tell my dad, hey, you made a road here, but I sold it out.
I sold it out. Well, guys, tickets now on sale. I want to ask Wade one last question. I ask the same question of every musician I interview. When you walk out on stage, first song, your band kicks in, you kick in. What's it feel like? Just in that moment, what's it feel like to be Wade Forster?
I feel an enormous sense of pride of where I'm from and what I've done to get to where I am. But the adrenaline that hits me the minute I start running out to that stage, I could run through a brick wall.
Yeah.
I care about it that much that nothing's going to stop me. No one's in my way. I'm paving my own way, and that's my mentality, is just to keep biting and chew like all fuck, you know.
Yeah.
So for me, when I hit the stage, there's not a person that can get in my way. I'll run right through them.
We saw one of your shows, and a mate of mine said, if you could bottle up that feeling he's got, that adrenaline, that emotion he's putting into this song, and you sell it at the merch stand on a massive amount, because and you feel that you're in the audience, whether you're on the first row or the 50th row, you get that, because not only that, it's like a bit of a wave. It comes back from the stage through the audience. So it doesn't matter whether you're back row or front row, you've got to get there. So guys, Thursday, November 13th, live at the Great Western Hotel, Rockhampton. You're going to see the man himself. He's going to be performing his best songs, his anthems, a few surprises maybe, and his fantastic new album, Gooseneck Party. See why I need my glasses, Wade? I'm getting old. I can't read music anymore, but Gooseneck Party. I know the songs, it's the title escaped me. The Gooseneck Party, out now. Get it online, get it streaming. Make sure you know the words by this Thursday, November 13th, at the Great Western Hotel. This is the one and only Wade Forster. He's a true blue cowboy with stories that are going to make you laugh, cry, break your heart, and make you smile and hug your mates all in the same breath. Everything else in between. He's going to play this again at the Great Western Hotel. Don't miss him. Few tickets still on sale. Let's sell it out so he can rub it in his dad's face one more time. But certainly, the incredible new album, Gooseneck Party, is out now on all streaming platforms. Make sure you give it a spin. It's the weekend, guys. Let your hair down, have a few beers, and celebrate Wade's new album. The current single is Air It Out, featuring Piper Butcher as well. Wade, thank you so much for joining us today. We'll hope to catch up on the road pretty quickly.
No, thanks for having me anytime.